So here's my honest review of the Magped Enduro pedals.
These are the magnetic pedals that mimic the feeling of being clipped in when you're actually not. It's pretty cool. The way they do this is they have a magnet on the pedal and then they have a steel plate that goes on the bottom of your clipless shoe. And I'll tell you one thing, you definitely feel like you're clipped in, but you can get out a lot easier.
I love them, to be perfectly honest. It is the closest thing you can get to being clipped in with all the benefits without the sacrifices of not being able to get unclipped. I would say these pedals are a gateway to start riding clipless for sure. If that's the route you want to go, these are going to help you understand what it's like to be clipped in and understand that when your feet are kind of stuck to the bottom, you're able to still get them out. I started riding clipless after I used these. There's a couple times where I've crashed. You know, it wasn't great. Every time I've ever crashed on clipless pedals was from low speed crashes, trying to turn around or do something real simple, not a lot of speed, or like there's sand in the dirt, and I've crashed on clipless. With these, I can get my feet out. When I don't have these pedals hooked up, that's when it feels kind of weird. In the beginning, it felt weird putting them on your bike and you're starting to feel this, like, you know, being trapped onto the pedals kind of feeling. And it's kind of weird, it's kind of strange, especially for me. I had never ridden clipless before these pedals. It was definitely a new world for me altogether. But I will say, once I got used to riding these, I feel weird on flats now. Even though these are basically flats with a little bit of magnetic force on them. Sometimes when I'm riding, I wish the magnets were a little bit stronger. It's not a bad thing. Really, at the end of the day, setting them up is the hardest part about using these pedals. And when I say hard, it's not really hard. It's just the only thing that you have to do to get the magnets just right.
And really what it is you have to adjust these two screws right here, one on the top and one on the bottom, and that's going to adjust the magnet height. So that way it's going to be attaching to the metal plate that goes on the bottom of your shoe, so you have a really good connection.
Another thing that's pretty cool too is that when you're setting these up, obviously you have to do your magnets, but the pins, all the pins on these things, you can set them up whatever style you want. You know, it's kind of unlimited on how you can set these up. They come with enough pins and extras and all that, so you can do what you need to do. And this is kind of how I configured mine. I put 4 in the front right here, then right here on the side, and then 2 in the back. I feel like that's all I need with the magnets. The support of the magnets is really what helps the rest of it, in my opinion.
Once I got these pedals and I was able to set them up the way I liked them, they very rarely ever come off this bike. Another huge benefit about these pedals is that you can still ride them with flat shoes as well. You don't always have to have clipless shoes to use them.
I'm hoping to get another set of their pedals because I want to try out their Ultra 2s. Those pedals are more for your cross country, a lot more climbing, and I really want to try those pedals out on my Izzo. On this bike, I can get rowdy, but I can also get away from the bike. On my Izzo, I'm mostly doing like single track trail riding where I'm not gonna need to get too rowdy. So yeah, hands down, magnetic pedals, Magpeds, I love them. I'm gonna be using them in the future. I'm gonna get them on as many of my bikes as I can because I think they're a fantastic product. And moving forward, it just feels better and I feel locked in and I like it, without all the bad parts of being locked in to where you're gonna crash. And that's it for the Magped pedals review.